All right, we're going to measure this cylinder for add round and taper using a bore gauge. Now what I got here, over here, and I'll include this in the description somewhere, or post a picture of it or something. It's just a sheet I made up that's got where you're measuring it at, and you're going to record all those. I typically do it in 12 different places. X and Y axis, so X would be this way, back and forth on the side. Y would be up and down. But I also measure at where the studs are in 3 different places. So we got basically 3 places on the X, 3 places on the Y, 3 places at this studs, 3 places at that studs. And all you're looking for is the difference between any difference at all. Typically you want them within probably 4 to 5 10,000ths, thereabout. It is perfect, almost perfect. Which a used cylinder, especially one with a lot of miles on it, well, I'll show you here in a minute. So we're going to start at the top here. Just below where the top ring goes. Then we're going to go down here and rock it back and forth. Then you're going to go down here at the bottom. And then we'll do it over here. Over there. And over there. Then we'll do it at this point here. And there. And then down here. And then you can record all those down. Now, what you're recording, you're not recording the actual measurements, like you're measuring the cylinder with a T gauge. So you're not actually measuring here, here, and here. You're basically, what I did is set the gauge to 3.390 inches, which is 84 point something millimeters. But you're setting that so that you know that's your nominal bore size for this, which is a B cylinder, because these cylinders are rated A, B, or C, which gives them slightly different sizes between all of them. And then your piston is actually going to match up with that too. This piston here is actually 84.77 something. Yeah, 84.775 inches, or millimeters, excuse me. So between the measurements of the bore size, which is spot on for what it's supposed to be, versus this gives us 14 10,000ths clearance, or 0.0014, which is great within spec. And you can feel that in the cylinder here. I can feel it anyway. I mean, you still want to measure it, but feel-wise, you know what it's supposed to feel like. But because of the rating of the cylinders, you wouldn't want to use a piston in a C cylinder, or a C piston in an A cylinder, because they are slightly different for factory stuff. You can jot it down and compare them, and then of course you want to do both cylinders. If you had 4 cylinders, you want to do 4. If you had 3, you'd want to do 3, whatever, and go by your factory specs, or close to them anyway. Now, you can, in certain circumstances, let's say you're race bike and you wanted to run a little bit more clearance, you could swap out cylinders or one piston for whatever cylinder. So let's say you had the smallest size cylinder, or the biggest size cylinder. but you want to run more clearance. Well, then you might run the smallest size piston in there, or go aftermarket, which usually aftermarket's going to give you a little bit more clearance anyway, especially if it's a forged piston. These are cast. I'm guessing they're probably Molle pistons, probably, or maybe Carl Schmidt or somebody like that. I don't know for the Beamer stuff, but that's pretty much it. Now, another thing too, you've got this mark, this little arrow on the top of the piston that points towards the exhaust valve. So when it goes in, you want that mark pointing towards the exhaust. Now, on some bikes, you can see that the intake pocket is bigger than the exhaust slightly, which means intake side, exhaust, smaller side towards the exhaust. But hope that helps somebody out there. I just ordered rings and gaskets this morning for this thing and some other stuff for it. Won't get it till probably next week or the week after that, but we got plenty of other stuff to do on this thing. I don't know. I'm probably going to paint these things like satin black to match everything else. Probably. That's the idea anyway. And let me grab this other cylinder and see how it is comparatively. Okay, let's check this one out and see what we're doing here. This is the left cylinder. I just owned it a couple of minutes ago and didn't bother checking it. So let's check it and see. That one appears to have slightly more clearance. Not a big deal. Yeah, it's got more clearance on this one, but not really enough to worry about. Maybe a few 10,000ths more. 10,000ths inches, not millimeters. Out around the taper is pretty good on it though. Same as the other one, just it's got slightly more clearance. I mean, ever so slightly more. Which begs the question, because I didn't check which cylinder this was. I mean, I know it's the left, but I didn't check it as far as what code it is. So let's check it out and see. It's a B as well, so it's all right. You can feel it's got more, but that's okay. Now, another thing you'd probably want to check is if you lay your straight edge across here and take your smallest feeler gauge, and just go around the side of it here and try and insert your feeler gauge in there. This happens to be a 2,000ths feeler gauge, and you're just checking the surface all the way around it. Make sure it's not you're not getting this feeler gauge in there, so you know it's flat. And then you want to do the base gasket too, which usually you can tell if you look at it what the base gasket looks like. And it's kind of the same thing. Just go all the way around it and check it wherever. Same idea, use a feeler gauge, or if you see light under your straight edge, and I'm just using a 6-inch rule for that. If you have precision gauge, you can use it as well. Now, what happens a lot of times on certain bikes, you'll see guys use a roll-lock discs, which is basically a Scotch-Brite pad that you put on the end of your drill. And if they can't get the base gasket off there, they will absolutely tear the surface up. Trying to get, this doesn't use a base gasket like that, but they'll try and get the base gasket off there and end up tearing this thing absolutely to hell. It's bad. So basically, don't use that stuff on gasket surfaces. You can use gasket remover, easy off, and a razor blade to scrape it off good. Now you also want to do your head gasket surface as well to check it. And it's this same idea, just go around there, check it for flatness everywhere, across a lot of different planes. And if it has to be milled, you know, I mean, typically you want it as flat as it could be. I mean, absolutely perfectly flat. But sometimes they aren't. You get some bikes, not on these, some bikes, different types, where the head bolts go. Somebody over tightened the head bolts, not using the torque wrench, just figuring it needs to be that tight, so they're just yanking the hell out of it. And they'll end up warping the head or taking it off in the wrong procedure. You know, they'll leave, you know, they'll take all the bolts out instead of loosening them up one by one, you know, loosen, 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 loosen. They'll take like, they'll leave like, just for instance, they'll leave these bolts tight and take out all the rest of them instead of, I mean, when I say take off, I mean totally remove them. So typically what you want to do, you loosen up head gaskets, you're going to loosen up, you know, loosen this one up a little bit, loosen that one up a little bit, loosen that one up a little bit, loosen, and so on, all the way around. Until you get them off, because you can warp cylinder heads like that. Some worse than others. But I think that's all I get. I had to reshoot all these videos because when I went to edit them earlier, my microphone didn't record or something. So I had like 3 or 4 videos that had no sound to them. Anyway, regardless of that, that's pretty much it. I'll probably do the valve guide clearance later. I got to pull that other head apart over there too and see, and finish cleaning these up and start porting, I guess, once we get to that point. Finish decarbonizing these things and start porting. And got to order my, well, I don't know if I'm doing exhaust valves yet or not, probably. Probably going to do the exhaust valves, at least. Intakes appear to be fine, but we'll see. Anyway, hope everybody has a damn fine Labor Day weekend. Stay out of trouble. Have a good time, but stay out of trouble.